Hello and welcome to the Island Peer Review Organization, IPRO Registry Dashboard. My name is Julie and I am here to guide you through the performance trend demo. Here we will be going over the following points. Step-by-step explanation of each column and icon on the dashboard. Performance trends shown with the help of a line graph and chart, and patient drill down. In the application menu on the left, we can see the dashboard in the expanded view and displaying the three sub-menus within it: practice, location and provider. The number 12 to the right of the location and number 20 to the right of the provider indicates the total number of locations and providers existing in this practice. Currently, we are viewing the practice level view as indicated in these two areas for a quarterly duration. This is an at-a-glance view of all of our measures within the registry and how we are performing at our practice. Measure views are of two types: all, which on selection displays all the measures defined, and favorites, which will only display the favorite measures. A favorite measure can be identified with a blue star. Now, we will study in detail each of the columns displayed below. The first column is the Measure ID column. In this column we will see the individual measures. The next column displays the description of the measure. Third is the Performance column. This will give us our performance rate as a practice in percent. In this case, the practice is performing at 100%. Below it, the registry benchmark is displayed. It helps us to compare our practice performance against the registry benchmark or the national average. In this case it is 91.98%. The vertical line on the bar represents the registry benchmark. Now, a look at the color coding. The performance bar will be green when the measure performance is higher than the registry benchmark. It will be red when the measure performance is less than the registry benchmark. And it will be yellow when the difference between the performances of the measures and the registry benchmark is less than 5%. Now, let's move on to the other icons. The blue star represents the favorite measures. Clicking on a blue star removes the measure from the favorite list. And clicking on it again adds it back to the favorite list. Hovering the mouse over the next icon, the exclamation sign will display if having a higher score is better for the measure or a lower score is better. The last icon is the measure definition icon. Clicking on this icon opens up a PDF file containing detailed explanation of the corresponding measure. And we have the ability to view, save and also print this file using these options below. Moving on, by clicking on this right arrow here, or clicking on any part of the row, will bring up another window displaying the in-depth performance trend for that measure. This is the performance trend window. Displayed at the top is the name of the practice. And below it is the name of the measure, in this case being IPRO01, and its performance percentage and the registry benchmark percentage. The performance trend is displayed by a line graph, representing a total of 4 quarters. It will always show us our most recent 4 quarters and tell us how a practice has been trending over those 4 quarters. The gray line represents the performance trend of our practice, while the blue line represents the registry benchmark. Hovering our mouse over each dot on the line graph shows us the numbers for that quarter. And to its right is a chart explaining the breakdown of the percentage for each quarter. The first column in the chart is the report duration column indicating the quarter. The next column, all, shows us how many patients were eligible to meet this measure. The plus column indicates how many patients actually met the criteria, while the minus column indicates the number of patients that did not meet the criteria. And the last column indicates the percentage behind these numbers. For example, here out of the 3424 patients qualified or eligible to meet the criteria, only 3422 fulfilled it, while 2 did not. Now, let us click on one of the numbers here and see what happens. A patient drill down window is displayed showing the list of patients behind that number. In the live environment, we can see the real patient name, the medical record number, MRN, the gender, whether male or female, and the date of birth. Clicking on the double up-down arrow allows us to sort the columns in the ascending or descending order. Displayed below are the arrow keys and the page numbers. Since this window displays only the first 15 patients from the total list, we can use these arrow keys or page numbers to look at the other patients from the list. Now, let's go ahead and close these windows. Up until now, we have seen the performance trend of a measure for a practice only. To see the performance trends of a measure for a location or a provider, we can click on these blue buttons near the top. So, let me go ahead and click on this location button now. Listed is a summary view of all the locations within the practice and their performance trends for the selected measure, IPRO, 01. I shall now select one of the locations listed here. This brings up the location level performance trend window displaying the corresponding line graph and the chart. And as seen for the practice level, clicking on any of the numbers within the chart will bring up the corresponding patient drill down window. And, by selecting the provider button here, we can view the provider level performance trends for the selected measure, in the same manner. Clicking on the All button will display both the locations and provider list at the same time. Now, let's go ahead and close this window. Another way of viewing the performance trends for a location or a provider is by going to the application menu on the left and then selecting the location or provider submenu from within the dashboard. So, let me go and click on this location submenu now. We are at the location level, as indicated in these two areas, for a quarterly duration. Displayed are 3 columns: location, exceeding and below. The location column will show the name of the location, the exceeding column will tell us, within the location, how many of the measure's performances exceed the registry benchmark figure, and the below column tells us how many measures' performances are below the benchmark figure. Let us now select one of the locations from the displayed list below. This brings up a list of all the measures defined by the IPRO registry for that location. And clicking on any part of the measure row will bring up the performance trend window for that measure. This brings up the location level performance trend window displaying the corresponding line graph and the chart. And as seen for the practice level, clicking on any of the numbers within the chart will bring up the corresponding patient drill down window. Let's go ahead and close all the windows pertaining to the location. By following the same steps and procedures as for the locations, we can view the performance trend for the providers. So far, we have viewed how our measures have been trending over the quarters. Now, we shall view their performance on a monthly duration by clicking on this drop-down here. The drop-down displays both the quarters as well as the months. I am selecting June 2014 from the drop-down as I wish to see the performance trend for this month. Currently, we are viewing the practice level view for a monthly duration. Displayed are all the measures defined by the IPRO registry and their performance trends. As we have seen before, clicking on any part of the measure row will bring up the performance trend window. Displayed is a line graph representing the performance trend. The monthly duration shows us the trends for the selected month, in this case, June 2014, and 5 months prior to it. In the live environment, it will show us a performance trend over a 6-month period. As previously explained, all the columns and numbers in the chart have the same explanation. Clicking on any of the numbers here will display the patient details in the patient drill down window. Also, as mentioned earlier, we can get the monthly performance trend for a location or provider by either clicking on these blue buttons here at the top or by using the left application menu. And with this we come to the end of our demo. I sincerely hope that this short presentation has helped resolve any questions or queries that you may have had earlier. Thank you for attending and have a nice day.